All right, guys, welcome back to another video. It's your man Jay Will. So my Xiaomi Redmi 5 Plus, this is a great phone. I mean, there are so many phones out there that you can purchase that are under 200 bucks or, right at 200 bucks. And this is one of them. One thing I like about this phone right here is the ability to not have to install my Nova Launcher. Now, not saying that Nova Launcher is bad. Obviously, we all love Nova Launcher. But this phone has so many themes in it, and there's so many ways to customize it. It'll keep you interested in the device. So if you want to theme your phone, you just go into the theme store. And one thing I like about this particular Xiaomi's theme store is that predominantly everything is free. Everything is pretty much free. So if you're wondering what theme I'm using right now, this is it right here, Blue Dot NY. So if you want to download that, definitely go ahead and do so. It's a hot theme. But again, there are so many free themes, man. Some of the other places where you can get themes, sometimes they want you to pay for them. Like Samsung is the only one I know of really that has a lot of paid themes. But if you don't want to do that, you can definitely install the free themes that they have, or install Nova Launcher and do all kind of tricks of the trade with it. But I'm learning now to use phones for what they are. Love my Nova Launcher, but I try to keep it off of certain phones. So that's just one great thing about this phone. Not having to pay for themes to customize it. I think that is a hot look right there, and I think it's makes this phone all the more better to purchase. Currently, the gold version is $199, and I'll have links to this in the description. The blue one is sold out, and then the black one is $189. So definitely jump on the black one if you want it. I personally like the blue and the gold. I like all these crazy colors like this because we have enough black phones and we have enough white phones. So, getting the gold, I got the rose gold over there. I bought the red one of that one. I got the blue Redmi Note 4X or something like that. I got a black Mi Max 2. They're picking the right color would mean a lot to some people, and to me it does. So aside from theming the phone, just the sheer performance of this phone. Now this phone, let me go into it here. I'm running the latest version, which is, actually the latest version is actually 9.5.4 because I have it on my other Xiaomi phone. It came through. Hasn't come through on this phone yet, but for this one, I'm currently running 9.2.13. So it's a stable version. So 4 gigs of RAM, 64 gigs onboard storage. This is a hot look, man. I mean, the phone is stable. Now, I know this doesn't have the stock ROM like this version over here. However, the phone is super smooth. I don't have any issues with this phone. Performance, it has a Snapdragon 625, which is the tried and true processor, and the 4 gigs of RAM. I think phones now, should come with a minimum of 4 gigs of RAM. I mean, there's no reason that even if you're going to use DDR2, do something to get it. Most of the phones have DDR3 RAM, but even if you're going to do DDR2, give it 4 to 6 gigs of RAM. It'll still run better than having just 2 gigs. And the 4 gigs of RAM on this phone make it exceptionally well. I just don't have an issue with this phone. The screen is great. I still have that same matte screen protector that came on there. I've already ordered some tempered glasses for this phone. So, be on the lookout for a video on that. It's a hot look, man. The phone itself is a hot look. The 18:9 ratio has definitely grown on me. I didn't like it at first because you do get you get less real estate overall. But for some phones, it plays well. Now, this is a big phone. Don't get me wrong. This is a pretty big phone. It's not a small phone by any means. However, it's narrow. You know what I'm saying? It's long. It's about the size of the Galaxy S9 Plus, or a little bit smaller maybe. I'm not sure. I think it's a hair smaller. But it's still good. It's narrow. Works good. The fact that it has a rear-mounted fingerprint reader is really nice. Now, the cameras on this thing, the front camera on this thing is freaking awesome. It is really good. I've actually shot a video with the front camera on here, and people were like, "Whoa, no microphone, nothing." Microphones on this thing are really solid. I think Xiaomi did a fantastic job. And right now, if Xiaomi were to come to the US officially and bring phones like this, all of the OEMs will be in trouble. All of them. Every OEM in the US will be in trouble. Huawei's here, but they're not doing an impact like they can. Now, they're bringing phones with 2 gigs of RAM, 3 gigs of RAM. like this is comparable to the Honor 7X, right? And the Mate SE. This is where that phone is competing. This is the market that phone is competing with. Even I don't have those phones. I'm pretty sure the Mate SE is really, really good, but I haven't heard good things about the 7X yet, and I skipped it. Even though it's $200, this is more appealing to me. But this is who they are competing with. So, and to me, they're doing a fantastic job. Huawei's not capitalizing on it like they could. So, when they brought out the 3 gigs of RAM Honor 7X and people complained about only being able to run like 3 or 4 apps in the background, that's horrible. That's bad. With this phone, you don't have to worry about that. And then they brought out the Mate SE and they kind of screwed people over, if you will. But if Xiaomi were to come to the US, they have a much better and bigger selection than Huawei. I mean, a broad range of phones to compete. And not just Huawei, LG, Samsung, they can compete with them all. So the complete package here with the Xiaomi Redmi 5 Plus, cameras, battery, performance, internals, it's a good look. I mean, I don't know why a person would not pass on. Oh, I can tell you one reason why a person would pass on this. It will be network. That's one of the only downsides of this phone for working in the US. Now, outside of the US, all is going to work well. But in the US, I'm getting like 3.5G. So it'll say 4G at the top, but that's really 3.5G because I've checked it in the settings. And if you get 3.5G, and that's depending on where you live. Now, that's on T-Mobile. But if you are on AT&T, you should actually get a little bit better speeds if you're on Cricket AT&T, their network, because it has band 5 and band 3 and band 1, and you should see a difference in performance. But on T-Mobile, you're going to be limited to where you get that actual coverage from band 4. So keep that in mind. But I've gotten to battles with people saying, "Oh, it doesn't work on T-Mobile." Most people use band 2 and 4 permanently. So I don't know of very many places that don't use band 4, but there are some places that don't. So, but the phone does work in the U.S. with T-Mobile, Simple Mobile, and all those Metro. So you have to just give it a try if you want to try something different and save on the pocket. I know a ton of people that bought these, and they love it. They love it, and they're here in the U.S. So it's your man Jay Will. Quick updated mini review on the Redmi 5 Plus. This is a stellar device, man, and I think it's doing very well for what it is, and I just don't have any complaints about it. Other than and the network doesn't bother me really because we're on Wi-Fi most of the time. So you got killer battery, you got a great screen, you got premium hardware, great cameras. You get an SD card slot. The speaker isn't a dual speaker setup, but it is very, very loud for what it is. And that's between 80 and 100 volume. You're really going to get some good quality sound out of this thing at the high peaks. No distortion or anything. So keep that in mind when you're searching for phones. Shop for where your budget tells you to go, and then buy what you want. Try it out. It's your man Jay Will. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.